tomorrow. Dwight Yoakam at the Pack, Sunday, November 12th, 8 p.m. Dwight Yoakam has forever changed the direction of country music, bringing a new slant to the honky-tonk of the times. For more information, go to hometownstation.com.
It's time for the Business of Life with Coach Ron Tunick and Jim Piccirillo.
What an honor that you would take like 30 seconds to even listen to the beginning of our show. So last week you said we're going to, I'll meet with Cody. We're going to get better music. Did you just hear that opening?
I was missing in action this week. Sorry.
Did you just hear that opening?
I actually had to go to work a little bit.
That is the most boring opening of any radio show.
We're working on it.
Thank God we're number one in Ukraine.
Man.
Thank God our Ukraine audience.
Gets better when you come on, though. So
Yeah. Also picking up Iceland. Iceland's growing. We're worldwide now. Our show is listened to worldwide on hometownstation.com.
Wow, that's awesome.
Big guest in the studio today. We got Travis Getz auditing the show for the IRS.
What does that mean, auditing the show?
We'll tell you later. We're going
to talk about our finances or how much money we make on this show?
Let's not even discuss money right now. And then, of course, the club champion at TPC, your club, Frank Quinn.
Welcome, Frank.
Yeah, and where's our audience? Don't we have an audience thing, Cody? Yeah, we do. We have
He
applause.
said he means applause.
Where's the applause?
There's a fanfare. How about a fanfare? There you go.
Thank you. Finally, my God. And then, of course, his beautiful wife, Natus, sitting here. Coming up in the second half of the show, I don't want to give it away, but if you're listening and you're driving, that's fine. But if you go back to your office and listen on hometownstation.com or the app, we have the best radio app in the country. Just download it. Go to the App Store and download KHTS 1220 AM. That's what Frank Quinn listens to. Even when he's on the golf course, Jimmy, he's listening to our show. Loves our show. Loves our show. Why do you think he's here?
I don't know.
So I don't know why he's here either. But
needs to kill an hour in his day? I don't know.
He's got nothing else better to do. So the second half of the show is pretty serious.
Okay.
We're going to talk about a lady that she doesn't know how many lives she saved, but I guarantee you she's saved dozens of lives.
Amazing.
How many lives have you saved? None.
Probably not as many as her.
No.
So.
Yeah, neither. All right. You want to know what's bugging me?
I do. What's bugging you, Coach?
Where's the intro, Cody?
Just happened.
What's bugging Coach?
Oh,
this kid.
He's rough on Cody today.
We bottle fed this kid, and the formula, the formula doesn't work.
Well, he never knows when you're going to call for it.
So I'm driving down Copper Hill the other morning on the way to my office, and a lady's pulls up to the right of me, and she's doing this. Roll down your windows sign. Mm-hmm. I'm on radio, on Facebook, right. I guess you can see it. Yeah. So I roll down my window. She's yelling, "Your light is out. Your stop light is out."
Tail light.
My brake light.
Tail light.
What do you call them?
Tail light. Brake light.
Our show brought to you by, what's it called?
Who
brings it? What's one of our key sponsors? Express something? Auto Express?
Rev Up Auto Express.
Rev Up Auto Express. Rev Up.
One day you're going to get that right.
Yeah.
Those poor guys.
But they know about cars. So she's yelling, your brake lights aren't working, right?
Right.
So I said, thank you very much.
You have a lot of mishaps on the highway. Last week it was.
What was last week?
Well, you were stopped behind a lady and she wouldn't make a right.
Well, that's ridiculous. Yeah. You're in the right-hand lane.
You just drive around Santa Clarita causing problems, or what's going on?
No, you're in the right-hand lane and you don't turn right. You sit there for 4 minutes at the light. Mm-hmm. I mean, she had us backed up like 10 cars. Anyway. So she's yelling, your brake light. So I pull over to the side, and I'm thinking, how am I going to check if my brake lights are out? There's no way to check. I'm by myself. So pulled into my office, go to one of my staff people. I said, come on outside, Jeff.
One of your staff? I love it.
I have staff.
Yeah, okay.
You have staff.
I don't have staff.
You do have staff.
All right.
So at Auto Express.
One of your staff came out and did what?
I said, let me put on my foot on the brake and see what you see. I didn't want to give it away. Mm-hmm. So he says, yeah, your left brake light is out.
Wow.
So that's what I said, wow. And I'm thinking, oh, crap, now what I have to do. Because I have two.
That is your problem? That was your problem of the week?
I'm not done
yet.
Your
brake light is out?
I'm not done
yet. Okay.
So
all the stuff going on in the world, that was the big problem?
You asked me. I'm trying to explain to you.
All right. Go ahead.
What are your anxieties? I'm going to share what my 2 anxieties are. What are yours?
When my brake lights go out. And I
No,
don't know
come on,
about
give it to me.
I don't have a lot of anxieties. I mean, I have anxiety just walking
You don't have
around
any
in this
anxieties?
world. Well, I mean,
Everybody
walking around
has
in the
anxieties.
World, picking up the newspaper every morning gives me anxiety. Listening to the news gives me anxiety.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
you must have something that makes your little palms wet or something.
Personally, I'm afraid of heights.
Me too.
I'm always been.
Me too.
Like if I check in a big hotel and I step out, can't do it.
Me too. Go ahead. What else?
Driving on the freeways makes me a little nervous these days.
Me too.
Ever since I got rear-ended.
Me too. Keep going. Me too. That's 2.
It. That's the only 2.
All right. So my 2 are going to the dentist.
Yeah.
Really, my palms get sweaty, and I just get anxious, and I have to tell the dentist I'm really anxious right now, and I'm only going to sit here for 20 minutes. I don't care what you do. You have 20 minutes with me, period. And then I get up and leave.
That explains a lot, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it took it took 4 months. I'm not exaggerating. 4 months to do a crown.
He must have loved that. He could just bill you.
No,
for
he
4
doesn't.
months.
He doesn't love it. He every time he sees me, he gets anxiety. The second thing is going into a car dealership. You're a car guy. Our show brought to you by
Rev Up Auto Sports.
You're a car guy. I'm not.
Yeah.
So when I go into a car dealership, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to act. I just get crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way.
So I go home that night. My son-in-law lives down the street. My youngest daughter, Robin's husband, Dave. I go down the street. I say, Dave, come on outside. And look at my lights. Is one of them out? He says, yeah, you're left. Same thing my staff guy said. So the next morning.
Holy cow. How many people have to look at your tail light? Can't you just pull up in front of a plate glass window and, tap it a few times and go, oh, it's out or it's on?
I don't where would I pull up to?
Here in Newhall, anywhere, any storefront you could,
So I go to
in front of your office. You have a big glass window.
I do. So I go.
Where your staff sits right inside,
They do. I go to the dealership the next morning, anxious, right?
This is like watching paint dry on the radio.
No, but you go into a car dealer. Cody, have you ever been to a car dealership?
Yes, I have. Very recently.
So you go in.
Cody
it's like
just bought a car. We talked about it last week.
No, but it's like you go into a car dealership and it's like, I don't know. So it's a brake light. The guy's gonna say for $4,000 later, you need this, you need that. Your brakes aren't working. I don't know what he's gonna say. So I pull in there and guess the guy in the auto parts store comes out in the parts part because I don't want to deal with the service tech.
Right.
I know that's going to run me $5,000.
Right.
So the parts guy comes out and I give him a little tip. None of your business how big it was. It was a little tip. And I said, "Can you check my brake lights?" He said, "Sure." And I said, "Put your foot on the brake."
So you figure paying him up front would cost you less on the back
end?
end.
You've never pre-tipped anybody?
I do.
Okay.
Occasionally.
I pre-tipped him.
Not like you.
And he said my lights were fine. He said
the tip wasn't big enough. You needed another 20 on top of that.
He said my brake lights were fine.
Uh-oh.
So then he says to me, you stand back here.
You call your staff person?
That's mean.
Get them on the phone?
Sweating.
That's mean. Nita, just jump
let's
in,
go.
girl.
That's awesome.
Jump in.
Why don't we do some quick hits? You got some quick hits for us today?
Apparently that's.
Yeah, you said you did a lot of research.
Quick hits.
Okay, so holidays are ideal for starting a business. What business would you start? Most businesses are started in December and January. Do you know why?
I don't. Why?
Because people wait for their bonuses. They know they're gonna get laid off or fired, or they want to quit.
Right.
So they want to get their Christmas bonus, go to the Christmas party, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they have many of those anymore, but
no. So
I'm talking Christmas bonuses and Christmas parties, but go ahead.
If you were going to start a new business, what would you start?
Man, I don't know. That's such an open-ended question.
But you're such a creative person.
Well, I mean, it would probably be something to do in the entertainment business.
Not the car business?
Well, I did that already. I did that when I got tired of the entertainment business, so,
What's the name of your car business? I'll remember it.
I'm gonna tattoo it on my forehead for the next show. Rev Up Auto Sports.
All right, I got it this time.
You love it,
Nita. What would you start if you're going to start a new business? Don't tell. Wait for a few minutes till we're going to get you on as the big star of the show. But what would you start? Do you have a pen, Cody? want to write this down. Rev Up
Well,
Auto Sports.
I mean, my own business. Would I start that one? Or
let's
other
say
than that?
let's say Frank is out of the picture. We don't know why he's out of the picture. Rev Up Auto
Oh
Sports.
dear. Let me think about
Rev
that.
Up RevUpAutosports.com. Is it .com or .net?
.com.
Okay. What would you start?
Let me think about it.
Okay, while you're thinking, what was your 3 famous movies? I'll give you mine.
You mean that I love, or
Yeah.
Love Actually? Is that famous?
What's the name of the movie?
Love Actually.
No, the 3 movies, your all-time 3 favorite movies. What are they?
Okay. Love Actually.
Actually.
That's the
name of
movie?
Who's in that movie?
Yeah.
Who's in that?
Oh, who's the guy that got in trouble with the
Is that a B
prostitute?
movie? I've never heard. Is that a B
Hugh Grant.
movie? I've
Hugh
never
Grant.
heard.
Hugh Grant.
Have
Yeah.
you,
Liam
did you
Neeson
watch
as well?
that movie?
I love
I
that
think
movie.
I did see that movie. It is good.
Okay, and other 2. These are all-time favorites. These are movies that you would love to see over and over again.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we automatically see
That'll be on
that.
soon.
Okay. Forrest Gump.
Okay, that was good.
So that's 3.
That's it. That's 3. My 3 are Planes, Trains, Automobiles. Bad Santa. Did you ever see Bad Santa?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that hilarious?
Yes.
And, what was
Bad
it?
Santa,
and
too.
Bridges from
Yes.
Madison County. I cried like a baby.
Oh,
Did you ever see?
I didn't see it.
Did it?
I saw that movie. Great. Clint Eastwood and
Frank,
Meryl
did you
Streep.
ever see Bridges of Madison County? Yeah. Did you
Really?
cry? I cried. Did you cry? No, never
He
mind.
cries at all movies, so
I-
he probably
I-
did. I would
I
think.
cried at Bad Santa too. I thought that
No,
was.
you did.
I did. I mean,
What's your 3 famous movies?
I don't know. Hard to narrow down to 3. I'd say
All right,
probably.
give us 50.
Okay.
Give us 50.
One I really like. I've always liked is High Fidelity with John Cusack. Love that film.
Okay.
Reminded me a lot of my childhood.
Okay.
Like a little film called Orange County. Tom Hanks' kid.
Very good. I saw
Love
that.
that.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
And then all the biggies, I'm not an action sci-fi guy. I like dialogue films. So,
Do you like car? Do you like car movies? Like Cars? Our show's brought to you by Rev Up Auto
Sure,
Sports.
I love cars. Love car movies.
Well, give me one that you like. Did you see the little Disney movie
I
with
love
the
all
little
the
red car?
I love all the Fast and
Car?
Furious ones.
Yeah,
Cars?
wasn't that was a
Cars.
cool little movie?
Yeah.
And
I
now they
didn't
have
see
a-
that.
It was called Cars.
Everybody says Baby Driver is really good. I haven't seen that yet either.
All right, let's move on. The
Yeah.
show's called The
Thank
Business
God.
Life. The station is called KHTS 1220. We won the #1 radio show community awards for the best radio. Never mind. We won a lot of awards.
Are we done with quick hits? We only did
No,
one.
I want to talk about the cost of political correctness. So, the Cato Institute, which I know you love and respect, interviewed 2,300 U.S. adults. Okay, this is serious now. Finds 71% Americans believe that the political correctness has ruined our country. And worse yet, 58% of Americans believe that the political climate prevents them from sharing their own political beliefs, and it even gets worse. 73%, and I'm one of that 73%, say they keep some political beliefs to themselves. So this leads to total apathy, which we have, and when you have total apathy, the bad guys come in. The real bad guys come in.
What do you mean by that? Total apathy. Like,
People are so interested in their iPhone, like her husband, Frank Quinn, who's the champion golfer at TPC. All he does is live on his Facebook. Now, it happens to be good stuff, but he's on it all day long. He's not even working. He just
But what does that got to do with the political climate and apathy?
Because
political apathy.
he's dropped out.
I'm not
I've
connecting those two.
I've dropped out.
Yeah.
I don't care. I used to watch Fox. You know this. We were partners for years
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
your building.
Which was part of the problem.
You watched MSNBC. I watched Fox. And we would get into great political conversations, right? And
I don't know about great, but we would get in some good conversations.
But we still love each other. And I don't care anymore. I don't even watch Fox.
Yeah,
I
good.
could care less.
Good. Good for you.
We deal with avoidance. So Frank's in Facebook because he's trying to avoid all of the PC. It's like, okay, if somebody puts something on their political, scroll, because we can't take it anymore.
I can't either. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Well, I think one of the problems is we're not able to have a civil discourse anymore about everything. Everybody is either so far to the right or so far to the left. And there is no compromise. There's no civil discourse. I'm not talking just the public. I'm talking with our government officials. Congress can't agree on anything, in their own party, much less across the aisle. So you've got a lot of opposing views, and everything's just moved far left and far right. There's no...
That's exactly right.
When I was growing up, no matter what the problem was, it seemed like somebody would reach across the aisle, make a compromise. I give you a little bit, you give me a little bit. Let's figure this out. Let's solve things for the good of everyone, not just our individual, needs and wants.
That's a good point.
It just isn't happening now, man. And on Facebook, you see it all the time. People just get on there and blather on, about whatever it is they've, conditioned to believe on both sides. And nobody gives in, and everybody's very nasty, under the veil and the anonymity of being on Facebook or any kind of social platform. You can take shots at people. Nobody knows who's doing it.
Right.
People get really evil.
That's true.
But, to me, when we're not, I like what you said, Nadia. When we're not preoccupied with this political discussion, we're all one. I could care less what your political stance is, as long as you have a good heart and a good soul, like you and your husband.
Right.
Frank Quinn's the champion at TBC. Does he sleep
paying
with the trophy?
Is he paying you by the
Yes.
mention on that, or what?
Be honest. Does he sleep with the trophy? Because if I was club champion, I would have it in bed with me. I really would.
Well, there's several trophies. So
Oh,
it's
now
leading up to the bedroom.
there's several trophies. That's great.
Yes, I'm trying to find space for these trophies.
So, being a female, is there political, like, you're wearing the American Heart Association instructor. I like that. Yes. But look at Cody's shirt. Now, it's not politically correct for me to, what color is that, Cody?
Like a maroon, I guess?
Burgundy.
Burgundy? That's
Okay,
what I
so
like
it's
that.
not politically correct for me to say that the shirt, first of all, it needs to be ironed. I can't say anything about the shirt. I don't know how his mother lets him leave the house dressed like that. So,
Coming from a guy in an Oregon Ducks T-shirt and
You forgot the hat today.
Right.
Forgot the Oregon Ducks hat today.
Right.
It's got the shirt.
What hat am I wearing? I don't know what hat.
guy owns 75 shirts. They're all Oregon Ducks
That's
shirts.
250 shirts, sir.
74 out of 75 have got a Ducks logo.
250. So in the female world, like you're a female golfer, okay?
Yes.
Is there political? If you see a woman at the club because when you're at a golf course, you have to dress appropriately, correct?
Correct.
So when you see women not dressed appropriately, do you say something? Or do you just
In
everybody
my mind, I do.
in your mind, yeah. But
I don't think it's my place to go and point that out.
Okay. So ladies don't talk amongst each other?
Oh, absolutely, amongst each
Because
other.
does the word caddy come to mind?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, in the golf cart driving away. Did you see that?
There you
know,
go.
That's it. for
Guys
sure.
aren't Jim. We're on the radio.
Oh, sorry. I was catching up on some news here.
on
Go ahead.
Facebook.
Go ahead.
Guys aren't. We're not catty, are we?
I'd say yeah, we are.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not to the extent of what someone's wearing, but there's always comments made, and
Because you just try to hurt my feelings about what I was wearing, right?
I did because you were picking on Cody.
I wasn't picking on him. I was
Thank you,
just
Jim.
saying. I wasn't. Let's go to the Millennial Minute now.
Oh God. Okay.
You've
this
been
guy
working on this for a week, right?
Yeah, more or less. No,
Okay.
I don't say working on it for a week, but
Go.
it came up
You
last
got
week.
You got to set him
You got
up. What is the Millennial Minute?
What is it?
We do this every week.
So he's 25 years old. He lives at home. He's one of the nicest human beings ever in my life. Gentle, smart, clever, interesting, innovative,
Working.
He's got a job. And we as
which is big.
Which
Is
is-
big. That is big.
that was a kind of a not politically correct comment,
What?
That's right.
which you just said.
That's big.
No, that he's
He's
working.
working.
Oh, that
Even
she said that. I didn't say
even
that.
Nadia caught it. Okay,
didn't say
so the bottom
my
line
God.
is we want to hear what a 25-year-old has to say. Go.
All right, I'm kind of reaching a point now. I don't understand fully why we still go to movie theaters. I'm kind of running out of reasons for why we go. I guess the communal experience, but for the most part, you can see the movie at home months later, maybe 2 or 3. You save money. You're not waiting in line. You're not surrounded by people making noise and on their phone, and pretty much control the experience as opposed to just hoping for the best. So I don't get why everyone still goes the way we do.
You cannot put that buttered oil on your popcorn at home.
You can.
Okay.
It takes work, but you can. More time.
Well,
I
how
guess.
would you do that? How would you do that?
I honestly, I'm not a buttermilk
Popcorn
expert,
at home
but
does not taste like popcorn in the theater. Did you ever think about that?
you can buy a popcorn maker. I used to have one. They pop popcorn. It's not that
Your
bad.
concern is the studio's concern as well right now. You know, how do they keep you guys coming to and putting, butts in the seats? It's,
I haven't been in a couple of years now, about 2 years.
and it
last
gets
in the
back to
theater.
what we were just talking about, Facebook, social media, their generation doesn't need to go as a communal group together and experience something. We still like that communal sharing. And I think everyone, to me, the film experience is still better when you with a group of people, and
It's not awful. I can see why, but just get to the point now where I'd almost always rather be able to control kind of the environment, not just hope no one's making noise, not just hope my seat's not sticky.
It's also money too. There's so many venues to see a film or any kind of Showtime, Hulu, Netflix.
Do you go to movie theaters?
Not as much as I used to.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I love to go.
You do?
Yeah. And I went to go see It 3 times with my 14-year-old. I mean, should I bring him? He's under 18, but I did. And I love all the reactions of the teenagers.
Really?
Oh, it's hilarious.
But
horror movies I definitely still see. Horror
Yeah,
movies are worth
definitely.
going.
I don't know. I just
The collective experience. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, but just kind of like random movie that looks kind of good. I don't see the point of going to see that in theaters anymore.
Right.
Like maybe Star Wars, sure, it's a big deal. Thor was a big deal, but I can't even think of
so
them.
even if the content was really good, it's going to be on some other platform, Jimmy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at TV shows. I mean, the same. They're worrying about the same thing because people don't wait till 9 or 10 o'clock. We've talked about that before. You don't wait till 6 o'clock to get your news.
I think Netflix ruined people in that remark. When they dropped the entire season, people are just so fed up with waiting week by week for episodes.
I
People
know.
staying all weekend and watch 10 or 12 episodes and get it out of the way. And move
I
on
know we
the
have to
next
go
one.
to break, but let me ask everybody quickly. There's going to be supposedly a strike against the NFL viewing this weekend. My issue, I'm not striking. I'm going to watch the NFL because it takes me out of, it puts me into a fantasy land. Never mind. But the point is the commercials are getting to a point, Jim.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. I mean,
know.
I talked about it about a month ago, but at some point I would
Something's
think
got to pay for all of that. That's big business,
I would pay
$1 million salaries.
You and I talked about this a couple of years ago. I would pay a monthly fee not to watch a commercial. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, why don't
I
you
would.
record it and then just roll back through it with no commercials? That's the way. Do you need to see the game live at that moment, or
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
For sports, I
Yeah.
need to see
Yeah,
live.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's nothing worse than someone telling you the score. Hey,
Our show
But there is a way to do it without commercials.
Our show is brought to you by Rev Up Auto Sports, and seriously, let me just get serious for a second. I get a little anxiety when I go into a car lot. Rev Auto Sports, Rev Up Auto Sports will buy you a car.
We'll buy your car?
Well, no.
We will find you a car.
Right.
We'll find you any car.
Any car.
No ups, no outs.
Will you paint it for
We
$29.95?
will. Just like Earl Shy, baby.
Huh?
Yep.
That's. We'll be right back. Also, a Bonefish Grill, my favorite place to have lunch. You had lunch with me
I
there.
like it there.
Very
Great.
Bang Bang Shrimp.
Very
it doesn't
nice
get any
place.
better. Be right back.
Drugs or alcohol abuse can tear a family apart. In Santa Clarita, just like everywhere else, it's an epidemic. The Way Out Recovery is here to help. Call them now at 296-4444 or visit them on the web at thewayoutrocoveryscv.com. The Way Out offers outpatient treatment for adolescents, adults, and family members. The Way Out is compassionate, caring, professional, and confidential. You and your family don't have to suffer any longer. Call The Way Out Recovery now, 296-4444, or visit thewayoutrocoveryscv.com and make an appointment. Asking for help is the first step.
Do you see it? It should be around here somewhere.
No, what was that address again?
Your building sign is essential to getting customers into your location. Feathers can help get your business noticed. They'll walk you through each phase of your building sign project, providing special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will give you a sign you can be proud of. Your building sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Feathers on Soledad in Canyon Country, across from the Edwards Theater.
There's only one Santa Clarita plastic surgeon who is Yale trained and board certified, Dr. Justin Heller.
To be a board-certified plastic surgeon like myself, what that truly entails is about 5 to 7 years of honed surgical training in reconstructive, all areas, as well as aesthetics, which means your facelifts, your breast augmentations, your body contouring, true training, and board certification. In fact, that's the only board-certified area that can be achieved in this realm.
Dr. Justin Heller, warm, understanding, always available for guidance because he's local. HellerPlasticSurgery.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Jersey Mike's, our wonderful sponsor. There's no better I'd say my wife's sandwich and Jersey Mike's are comparable. I love Jersey Mike's, I just have to tell you.
Maybe Ellen will start sponsoring us, Ellen Sandwiches.
She has before. And, of course, Rev Up Auto Sports, Bonefish Grill. We got a lot of sponsors. And we've been doing the show for 20 years. Jim Piccirillo and the coach here, Coach Ron Tunick, Jim Piccirillo. Really interesting subject today. Subject very, very important. If you're at home or at the office, I know you listen, we get your emails. We try so hard, Jim and I, to return your emails and texts. We don't always get to it. The people in, what's the country we're number one in? Ukraine. Yeah. We try to return.
Doesn't your staff work on returning all those every week?
They try.
Yeah, okay. They're busy. They're looking at tail lights and all kind of,
We get thousands of people that are interested in what we talk about. In a minute or two, Jimmy went to a car show, and Jay Leno was there, and I saw a picture of you and Jay Leno on Facebook. So he was courteous.
Oh, great guy. Just super cool, super nice. Stops and talks to everyone. Big car buff, totally interested in cars. Super nice guy.
Where was the car show at?
Woodley Park this weekend.
Woodley.
They had two. They had the BMW Vintage show on Saturday, and Sunday had the
Does he have bodyguards or anybody?
No,
Just by himself?
He's with a guy, some buddy or something.
Uh-huh.
But no, he just walks through the crowd and,
Yeah. So last weekend, I'm on Facebook, which I love, and tease about it, but Frank Quinn and I are active on Facebook. I love Facebook because it's interactive. It's like probably, Jimmy, the turn of the century where we sat out in our porches on our house, and we would talk to people.
It's a modern-day water cooler.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything is discussed and dissected and...
Frank posts a story. He's going to a sports event with his son, and a guy drops over. A guy keels over.
Wow.
And a few rows over from Frank, he sees it, and immediately 3 people came to the gentleman's aid. Immediately. And obviously they knew CPR. They knew something.
That's good.
And after, I'm making a long story short because his post was so moving to me that immediately I called his wife, who's with us in the studio, Nada Quinn.
Hello.
And Nada does something very, very important in our community, and that is that she teaches people CPR. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about it for a few minutes. It's probably not a pleasant subject per se, but it's so important because you never know when you can save a life. And I'm going to put together, if you want to be with me in the course, I'm going to put 10 people together. And do we go to your house? Is that how it works?
I can come here. You can go to my place. I usually bring my equipment wherever I need to go.
Can we do it at the country club where your husband's the
I'm
champion
sure
of the year?
I mean, I think he could pull some strings.
Yeah, but we could do it anywhere, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, I have the equipment. I bring it to you.
It's CPR training.
CPR training. It's a community course. Okay. I teach healthcare providers.
And you're licensed. You're wearing your shirt.
Yes, I'm actually. My background is in radiation oncology. I'm a radiation therapist, and I do CPR training as my private business. I'm the sole proprietor of Nada Quinn CPR out here in Santa Clarita. And what I do is I certify medical personnel, anyone that needs a card or certification for work purposes. But the main reason that I teach is to teach community folks out here that really need to know what to do in an emergency. Because at this time, the numbers are very low of how many people know CPR. And what's happening is that, we have great emergency medical personnel, response teams that come out, but you have to really think about this. Somebody goes down, you call 911, And that number, that phone call is dispatched to the EMS, and that's probably a minimum of 8 minutes, okay? So you have about 4 to 6 minutes where this person is laying there without any blood or oxygen going to the brain and slowly brain death, okay? And so what's happening is you as a community person, if you can get your hands on that person, start compressions and breaths if you know how, or compression only. If you can get all of that done while the emergency personnel is on the way, you are completely increasing the chance of that person to survive.
Amazing.
And but only about, I mean, probably at one time it was only 30% of the community knew how to do this. Now it's kind of raised up to 46%, but the American Heart Association is saying, look, we need more people in that, in that time between the person going down and calling the emergency response team.
That's still more than I would have thought. 46. That's almost half. I mean, I don't know CPR. I'd love to learn, and Coach, I'll join in with you on that.
Yeah,
but I would think it would be much lower than that even.
Travis will come. That's 3 of us. And ladies and gentlemen, if anybody is out there listening and you cannot pay, it's only $40, but if you can't, I will pay for it. I'll pay for 100 people to come. I don't care.
So nice.
This is my way of giving back, putting you on the show. But if you don't have the money, but you want to learn whatever, you know how to contact me on Facebook. Call the station. You know how to get a hold of the Coach Ron Tunick or Jim Piccirillo, either one of us, and we'll pay for it. I'll pay for it.
Thank you. And you did
I'm
pay
glad
for another person, which they were very grateful.
Well,
and,
it's just a start.
Thank you.
You got 3 of us. So Jim,
All
myself, Travis are going to come. We need to get 7 more people. 10's a good number.
Yeah.
10's a great number.
And then is it an hour? How long does it take?
It takes about 2 hours
Ooh,
because,
2 hours.
well, I mean,
Can't you do it
depending
in
how
an hour?
Yes, I could do it in an hour. But the thing is, I mean, if you're doing compression only, that's one thing. But what I do is I come in, I teach you CPR for adults, children, and infants, how to use an AED, which is
Say that again.
how to use an AED, which is an automated external defibrillator, and that's that shocking device that you see in the malls, at the airports, the food court, and that's the device that you use to get that heart pumping at a regular rate. Because the person that's in fibrillation, the heart is quivering, and you need that shock to shock it into that normal beat. So you learn that, and in addition, you learn how to relieve choking for adults, children, and infants as well. So all of that information in that community class.
How do you learn how to identify what the problem is? If it's not a heart attack or choking, what are some of the other things that you may be looking for?
Well, what I tell people is that if you come across somebody that's on the ground or wherever, you're looking for response and breathing in order to do CPR. So you're tapping, you're shouting, hey, 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 are you okay? You look for no more than 10 seconds to see if there's any breathing or response. You don't have either of those, you get to compressions and breaths. Mm-hmm. So
what's the most common situations people will see? Like, I mean, is it at restaurants? Is it people
restaurants,
choking, heart attacks?
Restaurants choking.
Yeah.
You're on vacation. You know, you're having a great time.
And we've all been in a restaurant and seen the guy or the lady. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all. Think about this. I mean, I've been in the medical field since 1989. In all of those years, I have not had to do CPR or relief choking in the work environment. So everything's happening outside. You're on vacation. You're at a restaurant. You're at your kid's ball game. And that's what happened with my husband. And I have to tell you that I've been telling my husband, okay, you got to learn CPR, got to learn CPR. And he's like,
he's saved. That's right.
So he kept saying, yeah, I'll get to it, like most people do. So then he witnesses this event at our son's basketball game. He sees how the people jump into action. I'm at a swim meet in Oxnard, and he's texting me, oh my gosh, I see this guy on the ground. Oh my gosh, I see some people running over. Someone's getting the AED. And he knows all this terminology because I'm always talking about it, but he hasn't done it himself. So after witnessing that, that's when you saw that post. Yeah. And that's when he says, wow, it really hit home. It was emotional for me. I got to learn it. I need to know what to do. So.
Well, you know, and this may not be you look at the Vegas situation, which was trauma, look how many people were saved by their neighbors, their friends, strangers, people that didn't know everybody came together to help one another before the medical response teams could get there.
Right.
Is trauma one of the trauma injuries? Is that something you guys go over? Is that out of?
That's out of
Yeah.
the community style class. I do teach it. I teach. It's called Heart Saver CPR AED/first aid. That's an in-depth course for somebody that would need it for work related purposes. They need it. That's what the job requires. I also have done that course for Cub Scout leaders because they're out and about doing events where the kids could get into some trouble.
Break a leg or
all kinds of stuff, splinting, tourniquet, how to stop bleeding, bandaging, all of that stuff. But there's so much that you can learn. And like I said, if you just get help on the way, and do something, that's what I'm talking about. Because there are a lot of people that will stand by helpless and just think, well, the emergency teams they know what to do. But you have to think, you call in that 8 minutes, are they repaving McBean and you're not getting through? I just saw on the 605 freeway 2 days ago, there was an accident. It was about 6 in the morning, traffic backed up. People started going into the breakdown lane, the carpool lane. Everything was backed up. And you pan back and you see the ambulance that can't get through. So here's this, but if somebody's doing something until that help arrives, that's the main thing.
And I want to learn how, your husband, Frank, his Facebook post was so compelling that if I was in that audience and I couldn't help, shame on me.
I know.
And I want to learn how to do this. Let's talk for a second about the AED, the automated external defibrillator. You can buy them. You shared with me. I can buy them at Costco.
I have seen them in the Costco catalog.
Right, probably buy them on Amazon.
You can buy them online.
How much are they?
All different ranges, a few hundred to a couple thousand.
Okay.
So depending on what type you would like. And
shouldn't every home have one?
I mean, I would say yes. I don't personally own one. I should. But you should, as a minimum, look around your street here and say, okay, who's the closest business that has one? Because God forbid something happens.
How would you know?
You could, go to.
I don't think any business that I know has one.
Well, you would be surprised. Dental office.
Really? Not my dentist.
Are those people trained on how to use those?
Yes.
Or I mean, you should be trained on how to use these, right? I mean, is there a danger of hurting someone with those?
Well, if you don't know what you're doing,
you always see them on TV and stuff,
sure.
and you're like,
it's like the emergency show.
Clear.
That's exactly right. So this is what you find in the community or at the food court, airport. What I mentioned before was these are user-friendly models for the community.
But you have to know how to use it. I mean, if you think you can open the box, and
what they do is you open the container, you power it on, it will walk you through the steps. But of course, you want to know that ahead of time to be familiar. But if, say you take my course, you'll know if there's an AED, you run and get it, you power it on, it'll go through the steps, remove the clothing, put on the pads, plug in the connector, clear the patient.
Where does it go over that? Verbally or like you have to read that?
It's
that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so it verbally commands and
yes.
Oh, that's smart.
It is.
The machine does that. But I want to go through your training. I want to learn to be calm. I don't want to panic.
Right.
When people are in trouble, the last thing they need is somebody panicking in front of them.
Right.
So get a hold of the coach. Get a hold of Jim Piccirillo. If you can't pay for it, I will pay for it. It's 2 hours. I'm going to try to put something together in the next month before Christmas, right?
Wonderful.
So years ago in Rotary in Westlake Village, I did a Heimlich on somebody.
Oh, that's great.
And it's, Heimlich's, I'm not going to say easy to do. I'm a big boy, so I understood. I knew where to put my hands.
And did you know, I don't know if it's Dr. or Mr. Heimlich, did the Heimlich on a fellow patient in the nursing home where he was. So Mr. Heimlich doing the Heimlich.
And they weren't even choking.
Else.
He just passed. He just passed away.
So Heimlich just goes around doing that.
Yeah.
He did.
So this is CPR training. Nadia is licensed to do this by the American Heart Association. It's $40, and you can contact the coach at the station, KHTS 1220. I will pay if you don't have the money to pay for it. I'm going to put. We already have 3, so I'll get 7 more people, and we can do it. We'd probably do it in my office.
Yeah.
You got a luxurious office too.
Luxurious.
No
With-
staff,
with
but
staff.
luxurious.
You used to have staff.
I know. Well,
And if you'd like to check out my website,
What is your website?
www.nadaquincpr.com.
Nada Quinn.
Yeah.
CPR.
I also have a Yelp page under the same name.
Yelp. What's Yelp? I don't know what Yelp,
Yelp?
is.
Oh, you got to get on Yelp.
I don't need to get on anything
Oh, yeah.
else. I need to get on Yelp?
If you want to
Can we
check
get our
out,
show on Yelp?
Probably.
Maybe,
Probably.
You know
They
what,
review
You got to be careful
you.
with Yelp. You get a
That's
bad
true.
review, man. People.
I don't want to be on Yelp.
I don't think you're going to get a bad review.
Like when you're going out to a restaurant, you don't look it up on Yelp.
I do
No.
all the time.
Oh, okay.
No.
Check out my
Anyway.
reviews.
Why would you look up? I go to Taco Bell. Why would I
you
look
wanna
up?
Well,
know-
that's different.
I go
want
to
to know
Jersey
what other
Mike's.
people
That's
think of the
different.
service, the food. You know.
Absolutely.
Jersey Mike's service is always good.
Oh, that's the only place you go.
Bonefi-
Yeah, okay.
Bonefish Grill's always good.
Look up Newhall Refinery. I bet they're on there with great reviews.
Newhall
Refinery.
They're not a sponsor. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Cut that.
Rev Up
Who's your
Auto
sponsor?
Sports. Rev Up Auto Sport. Can-
Rev Up. I bet they have a Yelp page, right?
I think we have a few Yelp reviews.
There you
I noticed
go.
we have
Would-
one good review. So
It is serious. Michael should come to he would come to the training.
yeah, absolutely.
No, so now
All of
we
our
have
kids should.
now we have well
You know, our
Katie
kids should learn just like we should
Yeah.
all learn this. This is something
Cody, if
everyone
I
needs to
paid
be
for
able
you,
to.
would you come?
Sure, when?
Okay, so we have Travis. Okay, now we're up to one.
Give her
two-
$500 right now, and we will. Look at and we'll
I
all
would-
show up next Saturday at TPC or somewhere. We'll get a room and
We'll
we'll do
make
it. And we should start
figure it
doing
out.
this periodically.
You know what?
and
I'm going to be
helping
at
people.
Big V tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
going to talk to the
There you
people
go.
over there.
Go to your own club.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that's what kind of comment is that? You belong to TPC. That's
Well,
nasty.
I said we will do it at TPC.
You're upset because the champion of TPC is sitting in the studio.
That's a whole different league than what I play in, man. You know,
Yeah.
that is.
You can play in mine.
Yeah,
How about
that's a good point, Jimmy.
wanna play in the
his,
ladies'
his
game Wednesday?
golf and our golf.
Our foursome doesn't come around that foursome too
Oh,
much.
no.
So,
Yeah,
you know.
his golf. Remember we were talking about political correctness.
Yes.
So Nate, I can say this:
Okay.
when two hackers like Jimmy and I come around your husband, they turn their nose up. His nose. Look at his nose when he comes home at night. See if it's turned up.
Oh, dear.
Because he can't stand to be around hackers. You know, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he kicks me out of the golf cart.
Our
all the
show
time.
brought to you by Rev Up Auto Sports, Bonefish Grill, Jersey Mike's, Resurgence IT. They're my IT department. You ever had anything wrong with your computer? Oh, you have a neighbor. You have a neighbor.
But I used to. Jeremy, the guy you're talking about,
That's
used to
my-
rent
yeah.
from me. I know Jeremy very well. Good,
Yeah.
very nice guy.
That's our sponsor. Is there anything else you want to say? What do you call your Nada Quinn CPR? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's a mobile CPR training company. That's it.
Why don't we have another name like Quick CPR
no,
Training?
it's me.
What pushed you into that realm? Just very
Yeah,
quickly.
good
Like,
question.
That's a good
what
question.
made you have a
Okay.
very successful career? Why would you go into CPR and just?
Okay, well, over the years, I mean, I've been in the medical field for a long time. I love treating patients. I've always had therapy students, so I like to train and have medical folks around me. When I started to stay home with my kids, I needed to do something, bring in a little bit of money, stay somewhat in the medical field,
Right.
and teach people. So the next best thing was CPR, and it just so happened when I was thinking about actually going forward, pulling the trigger to put my business together, there was a choking incident at my elementary school.
Wow.
I was there on a day off from radiation therapy, and a little girl was choking on a piece of candy. Every mother in that room did not move.
Ooh.
And I
Well,
jumped up.
panic
Yeah.
sets
That's
in.
unusual in
And
Santa
they
Clarita.
didn't know. Okay.
No, but panic sets
Panic,
in.
that's true.
And you just get
I would
immobilized.
say I would say a lot of it is assessing the situation. I
Right,
think that's
I
probably the
looked.
key to learn how to do it. With any event like that. Just assess,
Right.
like you said, make sure you're doing the proper things there, but also make sure you're making the right calls to the right
Call.
people.
We gotta
Yes.
take
and
a break.
assessing, like you
Yes.
said, if they can even get there or not.
We
So.
got to take a break.
Right.
But your comment's very wise, Jimmy, because if you think you know CPR and you don't go through training, you can hurt somebody and actually kill somebody. So that's why Nadia's Nada Quinn CPR. Although we might work on a new name like Quick Fast CPR. I don't know. We'll be right back.
Let's change that up.
Show's called The Business Life on KHTS. We'll be right back.
Santa Clarita Philharmonic has begun its season of free concerts. The SCP is a non-profit community-based volunteer symphony orchestra comprised of local musicians from throughout the Santa Clarita Valley who are dedicated to providing quality classical music for the residents of the Santa Clarita Valley. Like the Santa Clarita Philharmonic on Facebook or visit santaclaritaphilharmonic.org for more information.
Your nails have amazing shine. What polish is that?
It's a gel manicure from Forever Nails and Spa.
What's a gel manicure?
It's a manicure that uses a special polish using a UV light. The polish has incredible shine and lasts for up to 14 days without chipping.
14 days? I've never heard of a polish lasting that long.
It's a great way to extend your manicure and save money on polish changes and touch-ups.
Located on the old road at Valencia Boulevard. Visit forevernailsandspa.com.
If you're in danger of losing your home to foreclosure, you need an expert. Hi, I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty. I've helped hundreds of Santa Clarita residents save their homes completely for free. I've got just over 20 years experience and a loan modification success rate of over 80%. I can negotiate better terms with your bank and I can save your home from foreclosure. And again, we do this completely for free. So if you're in any danger, please call me today at 661-714-1400. That number again is 661-714-1400. I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty, and I'll be happy to help you save your home for free.
KHTS.
No, but you can remember Nada Quinn CPR. We're going to work on a catchy name. If you've got a catchy name, I'll pay you $50 if you come up with a name.
Coach is just giving away money today.
No,
Come on, man.
Let's have a contest. Right now, it's NadaQuinnCPR.com, right?
Yes, that's it.
But let's have a contest. Maybe we call it Jimmy's Fast CPR Training.
Oh, don't get my name in there.
Or it could be like my license plate, Mighty Quinn CPR.
Ooh, I like that. Mighty Quinn.
That is good.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a movie or something, The Mighty Quinn?
It's a song.
The Mighty Quinn, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So, Nada, we're done with your section of the program.
Okay, I got to run.
No, you can stay here.
Okay.
So we always take the last, how many minutes do we have left? 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes, Jimmy.
That's a lot of time. What did we do? What did we do wrong?
I want to talk about your...
You didn't do your quick hit. We didn't do our quick hits. We messed up the front end of the show again.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
We did the cost of political correctness. Okay, let's talk about something pretty serious. So this Christmas or Thanksgiving, are you going to have family over?
We will have family for Thanksgiving. We travel to New York for Christmas.
Oh, you're going back to see Brenda's parents?
My in-laws.
This Christmas?
Yeah, we go, well, for 20 years we alternated, but now they're at that age where they can't travel real well. So we go back there.
Are you aware that one of the most stressful times of the year is that dinner that you're going to have?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
How do you deal with your stress?
Well, you're talking about what kind of stress? Like just everybody talking?
Is Katie there? Is Michael there?
Oh, yeah, my whole family's there.
The whole family's there. Brenda's parents are there, who I met. Lovely people.
Great people.
That's why you need to learn CPR. How old is the
86 and 84.
Wow.
And definitely at that age where we should all know something like that.
And then you got turkey bones.
I worry about that all the time.
Yeah. And then you got turkey.
It's all mashed up. No, I'm just joking.
The turkey bones.
She's choking on the olive from the martini, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, my God.
No, but you know what? You're exactly right. The holiday table would be a great place to know CPR.
But at the holiday, what I'm trying to get to, this is the most stressful. So you're not too serious today. Nada,
yes.
Are you going to have, where are you and Frank going to have holiday dinner?
At my house.
And who's coming?
Anybody that wants to.
No, are you having relatives? Jimmy's having
Coach
relatives.
will pay him $50 to show up at your house.
No, that's for the Nada's contest on a new name.
I'll have my sister, my mom that lives close by. And
are you stressing out already?
No.
Really?
Not at all. I've done it so many times.
Are you saying stressing out over just getting everything ready, or the conversation that goes on at the table?
Everything. It's traveling.
Well, why is hot? Yeah,
no,
traveling.
I don't stress about that.
Yeah.
No, but you're home. Jimmy's traveling to Long Island.
Yeah.
I would stress about that.
So what day are you leaving?
I've already stressed. Doing all the travel stuff, it's like moving an army. Yeah. So
So like how many pieces of luggage when you travel?
Oh, we're good. We're good travelers, man.
Are you one?
I have whipped those guys into shape. They used to take like all this stuff. Everybody gets one bag. Got to be able to carry it on. You got to be very efficient.
Really?
Well, my wife gets 2 or 3. She's the only one.
So Brenda gets 3. You get 1.
I don't. I travel light.
So my youngest daughter Robin, when we went to Hawaii last year, seven bags.
For Hawaii?
Yeah, for Hawaii.
You don't even wear clothes over there.
She had a whole thing of shoes. She had a whole.
You don't wear shoes over there.
I'm going to give you your phone number. You need to call. You need to do training.
Training?
You need to do.
Training?
You have Nada Quinn CPR training, but you need to know. You need to do.
You asked me about
properly.
You asked me what business I would start. I would start a how to travel business.
There you go.
These days, people do not know how to travel, and it is so stressful. You get on a plane, people's got odd-sized bags and boxes, and they're trying to cram everything in there. You got to learn how to travel and be efficient.
Why don't you
George
add
Clooney in that film?
Rev it up Autosport.
What was the film Clooney did where he traveled all the time?
I know.
You got to be like that guy. You got to be totally efficient.
Remember at 3 a.m.
Why don't you add to Rev Up Autosports a travel package?
I'm doing it. I'm closing down the car thing tomorrow, and we're opening.
No reason.
Learn
to
how to travel.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is called The Business of Life. It's on every Tuesday. If you listen to the show, well, just go to Nada Quinn CPR before you listen to the show next week.
Yes.
I would recommend.
For real information.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then listen to our show and wander around the streets aimlessly.
No, but before you come back to the show next week, which is we're #1 in Ukraine, building our audience in Iceland, go to Nada Quinn CPR and get trained.
Love it.
Before you listen to the show.
We're all going to learn CPR.
But learning how to travel, you say that in jest. It's so true.
No, I know it is. I'm like just a crazy man when I travel. I cannot stand inefficiency,
Cody, I think it's Swiss Air is now weighing people. So they're weighing people because they calculated that if the plane gets to a certain weight, they need more or less fuel. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Well,
being a traveler. Yeah.
Well, I've been in small cities, and they actually come and say, you can either go on the plane or it can't be you and your luggage. You got to leave something and take it later.
And you can't eat.
They looked at you and said that.
No, they say it to everyone. Choose if you want to go.
Finnish Air, by the way, Finnair's doing it.
Oh,
So
Finnair. I said
yeah.
Swiss Air. It's
Finnair.
Finnair.
Those
So
Finns.
Finnair.
Finnish.
So if you flew on Finnair and they saw you walk up, there would be issues, Jim.
I don't know how to take that.
And they
but,
wouldn't give you any snacks?
Don't.
No onboard snacks?
I think that's a derogatory
Nada, what
comment.
kind of comment is that? Why were you talking about snacks?
You would wait, snacks? I don't know.
Well, don't come back next week, please. Come back next week. Go to Nada Quinn CPR. I know you're driving, but those of you that listen online, you go to Nada Quinn CPR. Next week, we're going to expand our Millennial Minute to 1 minute and 10 seconds.
I don't think we've made a minute yet. What are you talking about?
No, I thought.
He starts in about 20 seconds. We just cut him off and go on to the next thing.
Making the jump next week.
I thought what you said this week about not going to movie theaters. You don't want to go because you can watch the movies on a million devices. Is that why?
Yeah, it's just not more comfortable for me. Like I said, I'm waiting to see Blade Runner still. I just didn't feel like going to the theater, but I'll be able to see it at home pretty comfortably soon. So.
Wait, is that the original Blade Runner?
No, the new one.
Okay.
I've seen the original one because I can watch it at home. So.
Okay.
See you next week.
Adios, folks.
Bye. Thank you.